And here we are again, door 19. Let's see what we have. All right, let's see. 19 is over here. Oh, I see dies. There is 4 dies. Let's see. We have 2 acorns and 2 leaves. So very fall looking. I don't think I have any acorns. So let's see what we're going to do with this. So today we had these nice fall leaves and acorns. I like the acorns because I don't think I have any acorns in my stash. So I was thinking, since these are die cuts and there's no stamping involved, this might be a good time to do a see-through easel. Now the way we're going to do that is we're going to use a laminator sheet and a laminator to encapsulate, I think the leaf and maybe the acorn, a couple acorns, into this round circle, cut out of this round circle, and it'll be clear, so that way when we stand it up, it'll be a see-through easel, and it'll look like it's an acetate, but it'll look like it's inside the acetate. So the first thing I did a little homework because I wasn't sure if this was going to work. So I cut out a bunch of the leaves and acorns. So I decided that the TN8 was a good color for the top of the acorns. So I'm going to go ahead and color the top of all these acorns. When you look at these acorns, when you cut them out, they do have a lot of nice detail in them. All right, so we have all those colored. Now, when you have leaves on a tree, they're not all just pristine one color like this. So I thought I would take some brown, and I'm just going to use whatever brown is left on my brush here. And I'm going to go over these leaves, and it helps bring out the detail in the veins. We'll need a little more. I'm going to use honey mustard. There, and actually the messier they look, the better the wreath will look once we finish it. All right, so the next step is to decide what we want to put inside here. Move this to the side. Let's find the open side. Here's the open side. Okay, we're going to open this up. Actually, I'm going to cut this down so we're not dealing with such a large piece here. So I'm going to take this and cut this down. So the laminator sheets are the same on both sides. So you can take them and cut them down and fold them to make a new seam. There we go. This will be a little bit more manageable. And then this is the only, then you can run it through. As long as there's a seam on the top that will hold it together, You can cut them down to any size you need. I'm just going to put a really good crease in there. All right. So the amount of space we have to work with is what's inside here. Because this is I guess I should bring this in first. So this is the circles I'm going to use. They're the inverted stitch scallop circles. And we're going to need 3 of these. So they need to be the same. So it's best to take the 2 dies and tape them together and then attach it to the paper. That way they will stay together. And when you pull them off, you want to make sure you're pulling them off together. So we want to see how much real estate we have in here to work with. So I was thinking we're going to want to put maybe 2 acorns and a leaf. Let's see, about a little leaf in the middle. And then around the outside is where we're going to form our wreath. All the way around. And I think that will look good. I think that will look good. So what we're going to need to do, we're going to lift this off. We're going to put these in the center. To make sure that when we are done and we die cut this, that we have enough space and it's in the middle where we want it to be. So we want them in there like that, then that looks pretty centered. So let's say, do we want them like that? Do we want the leaf in the middle? I don't think it makes much difference. We want something more like that. All right, we're still good. So I'm going to close this up, lay this flat. Now I need to heat up the laminating machine, which I'll bring in as soon as it's hot. And then we will run this through. Now the other thing we need to do is we will need to cut a very thin piece of paper. Doesn't have to be big, just has to kind of be there. We're going to put this at the top. Now, this is important to always put a piece of paper on the top. If you don't, the laminating machine won't have anything stiff enough as the sheet runs through, and it will get jammed up inside your machine. But as long as you have a piece of paper along the top, you want to make sure you have enough room to still die cut. So like here, we'll die cut down here, and so we do have plenty of room up there. I can even put something slightly bigger in there. So we're going to pull this down just a little. I think I will put something a little bit bigger in there. Make sure we're still good. Yep, we're good. Now we just have to wait for the machine to heat up, and then we'll be able to run this through. And I'm going to put all these to the side so I can move the machine in so you can see what I'm doing. Well, the machine's taking a moment to heat up. So while we're doing that, let's talk about how we're going to put them inside. So we have the 2 pieces together. This is the biggest circle, and then the scalloped edge, the biggest scalloped edge that's in there. We're going to tape these together and cut them out of Kraft paper 3 times. So we will need 3 of these. So I'm going to go cut these out, and I'll be right back. So I cut 1 before we started, and now I cut 2. So now we have 3. So we have 3 of these, but I'm still going to leave this taped together in case something goes wrong and we need to cut another one. All right, so our machine is hot. The first one I did wrinkled a little bit, so I'm going to run a second one through. right, that one looks like it's going through smooth. And this is warm when it comes out. Just let it lay flat until it cools off. I'm going to move this out of the way. All right, this only takes a second to cool. So now we're going to bring in our die. So now we have our 3. So one is going to be on top here. One will be folded in half underneath. And then the third one will be attached to the card with the stopper on it. So when we cut out the acetate, well, I'm just going to call it acetate for now on, we need the outer ring. So we're going to cut this out to where this is in the middle. We're going to tape this down so it doesn't move on us. Make sure it's in the center. I'm going to use 2 pieces to make sure it doesn't move. And I'm going to cut this on the midi. Alright, so the midi would not cut through the laminator sheet. I ran it through twice and it still did not cut through. So I ran it through my electronic one. I have the Pro, and now it cut it just fine. Alright, so now this is going to get glued on here. And once we do that, it's going to look like the acorns are floating. Alright, so we'll put this die away. Alright, my Gina K glue has gone missing. So I am going to use the Simon Says Stamp Kraft tacky glue. And we'll see if this is going to work just as well. So this has a fine tip on it. So I am going to put glue on here. Should do it. I'm going to glue this down. All right, so this will be in the front. This one will get glued to the back. We'll line this up. Oops. Let's see, there we go. Okay, and I'm going to lay this to the side to dry while we work on the rest of the card. All right, so our card base is going to be 6 by 6. So then I cut a piece of the 6 by 6 autumn blessing paper, and I cut it down 1/4 inch to 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. So now I want to edge around the outside of this paper just to make it look a little more finished. And I'm going to be using the Gina K honey mustard. So I'm just going to go around the edge. And what this does is it makes it look more like a finished piece of paper instead of something you just cut. It looks more purposely done this way. Yeah, that looks good. All right, so now, when this is, I'm going to put this way, I think, because I'm going to attach the the easel is going to be up here. And then down here on the bottom, also from Autumn's Blessings, there was all of these greetings and messages and everything else. So this one down here says, Thanksgiving is not a time of year, but an attitude of the heart. So I'm going to take that one and I'm going to stamp that down here. Because this will be up here. We'll have our stopper up here. And there's plenty of room to put another message down here on the bottom. So let me grab the stamping platform. There we go. Put this back. All right, so the next thing we need to do is to fold this in half. So I'm going to match up the scallops here on this side, and then I'm going to fold. All right, and then we also are going to need about, oh, let's see, this is here. I am going to fold it over with 3 scallops. I'm going to put a crease across the top. Let's see if our other pieces are dry. Okay, our pieces look to be dry, and that held just fine. Yeah, so this Simon Says stamp tacky glue held the laminated folder just fine, so I'm assuming it would do the same with acetate. All right, so let's get this glued down so we can construct the easel. Now this here, let me use the fine tip bottle. I'm going to glue this together first before I construct the wreath because I want to hide this piece here. So the part that we folded in half, that doesn't have the fold at the top, it's going to get some glue on it. All right. And this is going to get lined up with the bottom of our circle. That's okay if it isn't exactly matching up because we're going to hide it with the leaves. I think we may need to cut out some more leaves, but we'll see. We'll see how many we have. We'll see how far we go. All right. So we'll bring this in. So now, like any other easel, this will be attached to the top. And then this will come up like this, and we'll have a stopper here. So we can decide now exactly where we want this to sit. So I think I want it to sit about here. I think that would be good, about here. So I'm going to put a tiny little pencil line here. So the only part of this top we're going to glue is where we folded it down. I ended up folding down 4 of the scallop pieces. All right. So we're going to fold this over. We're going to place the bottom where we want it. Make sure this is straight with the top. All right, I've got this all turned. Let me get this straight. All right, it's in the center. I'm going to press down there. So that will attach. And now our easel will stand up. All right, so now we can construct our wreath. So let's bring in our leaves and our acorns. All right, so now we need to decide how we want to lay this out. So now this leaf has kind of a curve to it, a little bit. So I'm going to start with, let's see, we'll start with a big yellow. We'll go with a small green. Then we'll need another yellow. Then we'll go another red. Oh yeah, we'll have plenty now. All right, so let me take these off. Okay, so here's all of our leaves and acorns. And this should be plenty to go around the circle. So we're going to start I'm just going to put a little bit of glue down. We're going to start with the red and orange. It's going to kind of go around the circle here. And the yellow. Some more glue. Let's see, so now we'll go with a little yellow, a little red. And we'll take a big orange. And we'll go, let's see, what have we got left here? Let's see, we'll go another big yellow. Then we'll go with a small green. And then we'll go with another red. Let's see, then we'll go with another orange. I think a little orange this time. Push that back. Let's see, so we have yellow, orange, we'll go with another yellow. Now we can put another green. All right, so now we'll go red. We'll go with a, let's say, a little orange. Oh, we need some glue on top of the red here. Up a little bit. Now we'll go with a yellow one. Let's see. So now we can have a green. Now I'll put a red one now. That way we can put orange. Let's see, we'll go backwards a little bit here. We'll put a little yellow one. Let's see. I think we'll put a big orange here, a little yellow here. There we go. So now we just need to decide what we want to do with the acorns. So we have 4. We probably only want to use 3. So about a third of the way around for each one. So we'll put some acorns on here. We'll put another one over here. We'll glue this one over here. There we go. All right, so now all we need to do is to make our stopper. So I'm going to let this dry. So let's look at what we have left. We have 1 acorn, 2 green, 2 red, and an orange. And I am going to take, let's see, I guess the smallest circle. Because that one, this one here doesn't have a cutting edge on the outside, so I'm going to have to use the circle. All right, so let me cut, let's see, what do we want to cut this out of? Let's see. So this is going to stand up like this. This is going to be here. I guess I will cut it out of Kraft card. Yeah, I'll cut it out of Kraft card. I have some from cutting the wreaths out, so I'll cut it out of here. Let me see. Let me grab this one too. Let's see, because if I have, let's see, cut this out of the Kraft card. Oops, that shifted. All right, let me cut this out. All right, so the center did cut out. There is a cutting edge in the center of this. So I ended up with this tiny little circle here. So now I'm going to cut out, let's see, do I want to cut that out? Or is this going to be big enough of a stopper? think that might be big enough. All right, so let's decorate the top of this. All right, so I think what I want to do is cover this all up. Maybe I should only use the little leaves. Let's see. No, we'll use the big ones. So I have a red one. Some glue on top of that. We'll have an orange one over here. A green one. Take our last acorn. And let me pull these out a little bit. So we do have a little bit of space right here. So I'm thinking, let me put another leaf here. I guess we don't have any yellow ones left. I'm going to slide the acorn over a little bit. Let's see what this is going to look like. I think that'll look fine. All right, so we'll let that glue first. Let that dry for a moment while I grab some foam tape. All right, so I think I'm going to use the dots. They're nice and thick. So we'll turn this over, put a couple of dots. Pull this in a little bit. I think I'm going to put this about here. Well, actually, no. I think I want to line this up. Let's see. I want to line this up. So it's here, I think. So when this is flat, it looks like, let's see. So this is laying flat. Pull it up just a little bit. Yeah, I want it right here. So when the card is closed, it looks like that's part of all the same design. And then, oh look, you open it. Oh, surprise. It opens up and stays open. All right. Whoops, you do not want to stay. Is that too close? Oh, I see. The glue came loose. All right. You put some tacky glue on this. All right. So we're going to lay this over here so that matches all up. Push down. See if we're good now. Now we're good. There. Ooh, I will wipe that off. I have to clean that off. All right. So there we go. A floating easel. Let me move the camera down so you can get a better picture of it. All right, so there you go. There's our see-through easel. See that it stands up and it looks just like a wreath standing there with the acorns in the middle of it. And you can do that with any shape, any rectangle, circle, square, whatever shape you want to do. And you can even make that a shaker card if you want to. And I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you again tomorrow. Stay crafty.